So hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is V. For today's video, as you can tell by the title, we're finally doing the Oxford review, and I feel like this has been long awaited because I do one every year and it's just become a little tradition of ours. But today I'm going to be reviewing my final term, my final year at Oxford University, and just an overall, like, after 4 years, how do we feel, how did it go, what happened, and what's the deal. I'm going to split the video up into sections. So the first one will be like academics, because that's the most important part, isn't it? You want to know, did you actually like get an education kind of thing, get that out of the way. Then we'll talk social life, we'll talk did I like the uni, did I not, the things I didn't like and why I've been so disappointed in it lately, and the things that I did love that I'm going to take with me forever. And then I'll overall be like, do I recommend this or not? And I think you might be shocked by my answer, or maybe you're not shocked, but I'm an evolving human being. So what I said last year and the year before may be different to this year, just because you see new things, you see new perspectives, and your opinion changes. And maybe in 10 years, when I watch this video back, I might not agree with my perspective or perception of Oxford at this very moment in time. But yeah, you guys, I guess, I don't know, whatever. Make of it what you will, but I have my opinion. I'm allowed to have it, and I'm going to stand by it, and that's that on that. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you do press subscribe, because we are growing and glowing every single day. Like, how are we at 155,000 subscribers right now? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. That perplexes my mind. So thank you so much. I love you so much. And yeah, let's just get straight into the video. I don't want to talk too much. Okay, so section 1 of the video, academics. Let's get straight into it. Let me tell you something for free, guys. It was hard. It was hard. And I don't want to hear it. You guys know already because you were watching the essay crisis videos. And in previous years, I had an essay crisis. I've been having an essay crisis, okay? But it used to be like once or twice a term in previous years. This year, as you guys literally, you can go back to the videos, there was an essay crisis every other week, and it was just like, girl, get it together. But it was really hard, and I'll tell you why. It's because I was overworked, I was overloaded, and some of the stuff was self-inflicted, some of it was because of the uni, and not in a bad way. Like, that's how Oxford's always been. We have a lot of work. That's like, I feel like that's the thing about Oxford, like, they work really hard because they have a lot of work. But this year, I think there was a term when I had 14 lectures a week, which, once again, standard. I can't even complain about it. I used to have that was normal. But I had 14 lectures a week, which is 1 hour each, so 14 hours. Then I had like an essay a week, or an essay and a half, because I'd have 2 things at the same time. So I had an essay and a half, but let's call it 2 essays a week, but it's really not. It's like 2 essays in 2 weeks, but I don't know how else to word it. Plus a dissertation was going on. So I had my museum report, which is 10,000 words, but it involved a lot of research. Then I did this to myself. I went and applied for Harvard. Like, no one asked me to. I took myself with my own 2 legs, and I said, I'm gonna go and apply for Harvard. And obviously that requires revising for the test, personal statement references, going to interviews. Is a lot. Like, Harvard is a lot. So that was going on. Plus I also had you guys, like the YouTube channel, which I was never gonna give up, and I loved doing it, and it was something that kept me accountable, because I'd do my essay videos on here, I'd do my vlogs. Like, it was a part of my university journey. And then I also had to still, you know, eat, live, sleep, breathe, repeat, that kind of stuff. Yeah, that was a lot. It was just a lot. I don't know what else to say. It was a lot. And also, it's your final year. Like, this is the year that counts. Your exams are going to be real. You got to start revising. There was just a lot going on, okay? So academics wise, I was overwhelmed, but that was, like I said, a mixture of what the uni put in place and also very much self-inflicted. I could have stopped YouTube, I could have stopped, but I loved it. I kind of love being busy. I love having a lot going on, and I did it, so it was fine in the end. But yeah, there was a lot of work on, and I love the modules I did this year. Actually, they were really great. Sexuality and gender, you guys know that was like top tier. It was top 2 and it was not number 2. I tell you that for free. It was just great. And I hated imperial culture and society, imperial Roman culture and society. That was just a lot. It was really hard. So yeah, academics wise, it was all good. It was a lot, but we got through it, and here we are today. We made it. We have an Oxford degree. Well, we will soon when we graduate. Pandemic, yada yada yada, you know what it is. The next part is social life. It didn't really happen for me, because I had planned to have the first 2 terms where I really work hard and like do everything else that I'm doing, and then the last term is when I would party and be free and stuff like that. But I'm quite like an introverted extrovert, if that makes sense. I don't really enjoy clubbing and going out and stuff. So for for me it was like, woohoo, I don't have to go out anymore. But in my head I was also like, I'm gonna reward myself in the last term, which sounds crazy because you're like, hey, but you have exams and things then. But my logic was, by the time March comes, I'd be done with applying for Harvard. I'd know the answer, yes or no, are you in, are you out? And then I'd also no longer have lectures because we'd be in exam season now. So the 14 hours a week would stop, and also the YouTube videos would lessen just because I wouldn't be vlogging or seeing my friends as much because we would all be in exam season. So I was like, a lot of these big things that have my attention and take my time would be gone, and also no more essays. So to me it was like, this is the time. So me, Malala and Kia had booked a ball, we booked all this stuff to do because we knew we would have only revision, do you know what I mean? So yeah, that was my plan. But obviously the pandemic happened, coronavirus said no, so I basically saved my going out, my social life till the end, and then I never got to use it because I was stuck at home in lockdown doing my final term online, which sucked. So in life, lesson: never save things for later, do them when you can. So I should have gone out when I could, because now I'll never have my final term at university again, well, Oxford anyway, because it was taken by the pandemic. Now let's review comfort and happiness. Like, was I happy overall? Did I feel like myself at Oxford? Did I, all that kind of stuff? And I'm gonna say yes. And obviously I know that might come as a shock to a lot of people, because they might be assuming, like, with everything in the media about Oxford and their diversity and stuff, like, how could you feel like your true authentic self? And I just think that I just happened to be that way, where I could honestly be in like a burning fire and I would still be like, hey, but guys, at least we get to see cool flames. Or I could be in like a bush full of thorns and like something's like prickling me, and I'll be like, yeah, but guys, think about it, we still get to be around nature. Like, I always see the bright side of any situation, which is quite annoying because sometimes, call it what it is, like, a kettle's a kettle. I don't know what the saying is, you know what I'm trying to say, but like, call it what it is, you know, a spade is a spade, call a spade a spade. But I always just, I don't know, it's just built in me to always find the bright side of any situation. But speaking to my other friends who were black, speaking to my other friends who were of African or Caribbean descent, their experiences are totally different, and that makes me sad, you know. But as in me, as in personally me, I was happy. I did have a good time at Oxford. But I think it also comes down to the college you're at. I feel like Lady Margaret Hall they created that space. They led with the intention of everybody will feel accommodated and comfortable no matter where you come from. Whereas I feel like the wider Oxford just didn't have that vibe. So if I have to speak for my college, yes, I was 100% happy. I loved that place. I felt accepted. I felt like I was just me. I didn't even think about being me, I was just me. Whereas when I go to other colleges for other lectures and other classes and things, I definitely felt like an outsider. I felt like I didn't belong. So take that with a pinch of salt, take that how you will. I don't know what you want to do with that, but that's how I felt. So I was happy, but knowing what a collective of people like me went through, I'm not happy. Does that make sense? The next one is my experience with being black, race, and being in Oxford, because I can't do an Oxford review without discussing that, because that is me, that is who I am. And my experience there was also shaped by the color of my skin. So like I said in the previous point, personally, I had a good time. I didn't feel those microaggressions as much at my college. In other colleges, yes, I did. In wider Oxford, yes, I did. I did feel like a fetish. I felt profiled a lot. I felt targeted a lot, and that was, I don't know what it was down to. I think it's down to there's not a lot of us there that are black. So when other colleges that I'd go to would see me and ask me for my identity card all the time, I felt like I had to, if I'd forgotten my ID at home, I feel like I would never be allowed into the libraries and things like that, because they just would not believe I'm a student there. It would just be so mind-boggling to them, and it's just a shame. So I think I did have a lot of rough experiences where porters, we call them porters, which is like the receptionist kind of, where they would just make you feel like this big, and it was such a shame. And also, once again, hearing my friends' experiences and seeing them, just how painful that was for them to live that experience the entire time. At least I had the escape of, like, in my bubble at my college, everything was hunky-dory, and it's only when I left, and I rarely left my college, so I feel like I had a completely different view of Oxford because of that. But when I started hearing more, it's disappointing, to say the least. And yeah, so once again, take that as you will. I just want to be honest with you guys. I'll always encourage you to apply to any institutions that you want to, wherever your heart feels like it wants to be. But I'm also going to be honest with you because it's my duty to be honest, and I feel like I would be misleading you if I was like, it was perfect, I loved it, thank you, Oxford, bye, because that's not true. As a black girl navigating wider Oxford, it was hard, really, really hard. And also when Black Lives Matter was not when it was happening, it's always happening, but I mean when it was on the global stage and everyone gave it attention, which I feel like should be a forever thing, not just a for 1 week trending, but whatever. When Black Lives Matter was happening, I felt very disappointed in my university's response. They didn't say anything. They just didn't say anything until I tweeted, and me and Eve and Grace and everyone were tweeting them being like, hey, university, do you want to stand up for the students you so love so much, the ones that you want to use to claim that you're so diverse? Like, do you not want to speak out for us? Like, all you have to do is put a statement out. Just a statement. We're not even asking you to open your purse, which you should open your purse, but we're just asking you for a statement. Anything, retweet something, anything. They were silent, and I think silence is deafening. I think silence speaks 1,000 words. So for them to have black students at their institution, and when there is police brutality happening, or black students are saying, can you help speak out for us? You are one of the leading institutions in the world. People will follow suit. Can you set that tone? Can you show people you are anti-racist and you are actively helping dismantle the institutions in place, that the systematic institutions in place that systematically oppress black people? And they didn't say anything, and I was like, Oxford, hello, university, you. So then it makes me angry, because I'm like, why am I doing all of this hard work? Obviously I'm doing it because I care and because I want to see more people like myself occupying that space. But when you're like, why are the students doing all the work and you're just sitting there, when you're the ones with the money, with the things in place to actually make things happen? Like, why are you not speaking out? And I hate that. I hate people watching something wrong happen and not saying anything. So yeah, I was really disappointed in my uni. I called them out on Twitter, and I'll keep calling them out if I ever see anything wrong, because I think it's important. If you have any platform of any size, no matter how small you may think my platform is, I'm going to use it to always call out what's right and what's wrong. And I feel like in that moment Oxford were wrong, and when they did finally put out a statement, it wasn't good enough for me. So it's kind of it soured my view of them. Obviously, like, I still love my uni. I had a great time. I learned so much. I've got skills and I have a degree that's going to open doors for me forever. Like, just the name Oxford itself is going to do so much for me, and I acknowledge that, and I'm not grateful for that, but I also acknowledge that me being there enhanced the uni as well. And I also acknowledge that they can get things wrong, and when they do get them wrong, I'm going to be the first one to call them out, because I'm for the students. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm for the students, and then they've let black students down a lot. And the next part is my favorite things, the things that I really loved and I'll take away forever. And that's gonna sound like boring, like, oh, V loves to study, but my favorite part was the studying. I know I made a lot of essay crisis videos, I know I was in a lot of help me cry with me, but I actually did love it. I enjoyed it. There was a thrill in that for me. And also tutorials were my favorite thing. And tutorials are like one-on-one teaching sessions, and I loved those. Like, to me, that is just the best part of being at Oxford, is the fact that I get this in-depth one-on-one teaching on a regular basis. Oxford, they knew you. Like, it was, I'm writing this report about V, and it was accurate. And that one-to-one, in-depth, very personal teaching is something that I'd never experienced, and it's given me the biggest academic confidence in myself, and I will never, I'll be grateful for that forever. I also really loved riding a bike, and the backpacks, and just the dress sense in Oxford. Everything was chill. You didn't have to wear makeup, you didn't have to dress up, you didn't have to be all, I can't explain it. I could just be me. I get up, put my jogging bottoms on, a little crop top, get on my bike with my backpack. Everything was just so simple. Life was just, you were just allowed to just be, and I loved that. And I'll miss riding a bike. I'll miss listening to Pompeii by Bastille and stuff like that. At home, it's all very, I don't know, pretentious in a way. I can't explain it. It's all very, everyone's all about appearances, whereas in Oxford it just wasn't. No one cared. it was more about like what was in here, and I loved that. So that's something I really loved and I will miss a lot. The worst things for me were like how I guess I hated, like I said, I hated the fact that the majority of Black students were always doing more work than other students. Like I didn't like the fact that there was this massive burden on us to always just be reaching out, recruiting, all this stuff. Like we loved to do it because we knew it was necessary, but I feel like in the future what I'd love to see is for a Black student to go to Oxford, have a crazy time, have fun and leave, and not feel like they had this big duty. But we all fulfilled it because we all knew we need to do this. But I hope that Oxford gets to a point where we don't feel we need to do that, where we feel like everyone has a fair chance and everyone's applying and getting in fairly, so we could just go and just be. Another worst thing would be sometimes maybe they could lessen the workload. Like I feel like we could still achieve the same thing without necessarily having to do all of that, but I also get why they do it, so I don't know if I can use that one. But that's the worst thing for me. It's mainly just I wish Oxford had supported Black students a lot more than they did, and that they do, and I hope that they will, because it's a shame. You know, it's just a shame. Now we're at the part that is the controversial part. Would I overall recommend Oxford? What do I think overall about my experience? Like I keep saying to you guys, overall, from start to finish, it has been 95% amazing experience of a lifetime. I absolutely loved my time there. 5% of it I hated it, which was everything that I've just mentioned. But would I recommend it? See, I don't know. I don't know. It's not a direct yes. It's not entirely a no, it's in the middle. I would recommend it because I had a great time, and I think you can learn a lot and the opportunities that Oxford gives you, but I don't think so. On the other hand, I don't think so, especially if you're a Black student. I feel like Oxford needs to do more to accommodate you and to accommodate like us. So I feel like one part of me says I wouldn't recommend it because I know that it's gonna be a lot emotionally, physically, mentally. It's going to be very draining. Like you will have a lot of battles in all aspects because of your race, but at the same time, to make the change, we've got to go there and be the change. So I'm conflicted, but I think for right now I might say no. I don't know what I'd say, but you've heard my reasonings there. But overall, would I recommend it? Okay, I would 60% not recommend, and 40% recommend. Yeah, I'm gonna say no. You guys make of it what we will. I'm leaning towards no right now because they've disappointed me at this very moment in time. In 10 years, my opinion might be different. In 2 months, it might be different. But today, in June, I'm saying no. There we go. For you, that wasn't so hard. You had to make a decision. I'm so indecisive. It's the worst. And that is it, guys. That is my overall review of my time at Oxford. Make of it what you will, but that's how I feel. And yeah, overall, I've loved it. It's been an experience of a lifetime. It's something that I will talk about forever, I think. It's something that has shaped who I am today. I've learned what I love, what I don't love. I've just grown so much as a young lady, you know. So yeah, that is overall where I stand and what I think, and I hope you guys enjoyed. We're done. We did it. Oxford, 4 years, we're done. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video, and woohoo, it's summer. Woo. Okay, bye.